Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my coffee break conversations. Brand new week just ended. I can't believe here we are again, and I'm so excited to always be sharing this stuff with you today. And I'm drinking my water today. I decided I'm just gonna have water, make it simple, lemon water to be exact. And I have a really interesting subject in mind today. And I really just feel compelled to talk to you about this. It has been weighing on me for a while, and it's something that we all need more of. And that is mindfulness and meditation.
Oh, I thought you were referring to junk food.
Oh, that sounds good too. I'm trying, I'm talking about eating holistically the other day in my video, and we're talking about junk food. But hey, junk food once in a while in moderation isn't going to kill you. Just don't make a bad habit of it.
It depends on your definition of junk food.
Well, that's true. I have a standard when it comes to junk food. I will not just eat any junk food. There's a lot of stuff out there that I personally think is just... My famous word I like to say is glick, which actually in my terms means disgusting, gross, horrible, icky.
There is some food out there that they call junk food that's not fit for dogs.
Seriously.
You only feed it to the dog that you hate.
Yeah. And that's why I think we need meditation and mindfulness to help combat that.
What, feeding your dog deadly food?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Another subject for another day, guys. Another subject for another day. But yeah, this week, definitely mindfulness and meditation is something that is really, really, really important to do. And I think a lot of people just don't know. I mean, I have heard of meditation when I was younger and everything, but I always thought it was this weird, crazy thing that you get into, and you sit there and hum and make chants and this weird stuff, and all of that can be
if you're into it.
If you're into that sort of thing. Me, I use meditation in a different way, obviously, and just really trying to be at the present moment, be in the present time, instead of my mind always in another dimension, another area, just running all over the place, out of control. We need to kind of hone in. Wow, that's kind of weird. Hone in on ourselves and kind of take the reins and figure out why. Okay, just stillness, just quietness, stillness. And I've actually, guys, I've actually done a video on meditation before. It's been a while back. If you want to find out about the specific meditation practices that I have done, you can actually go to the description below and you can find the link. You can listen to that video, and that'll give you a more idea of some of the meditation practices that I have done and that I have taught people. So feel free to definitely take a listen to that, because that'll get you in more depth of what I'm about to talk about. So I'm going to just let you know, when we're really stressed, when we're stressed out and we're really like just on the go, we're always out there doing something, we're always, doing all the things, and we get very tired at times, and we get very unfocused at times. We lose our sense of self, and we have a tendency to just really lose time in itself. We don't take that time to really focus on our needs and focus on our wants and focus on our desires. We don't take time for that nowadays. A lot of people don't. And I know for me personally, I never, ever considered in my lifetime that I would be here where I am at this moment in time, teaching holistic mindfulness, teaching, coaching, and doing these things to help people have a more balanced life. Because when I was younger, I, for one, was never taught this. And number two, I heard about meditation and I've heard about being mindful. And I always thought that it was kind of foreign, weird, crazy for the strange people, for the witchy type stuff, I always thought it was just really strange why people would do such a thing. Why are they trying to, you see these people with their legs crossed and they have their arms out and they're going, and I thought, oh, that is dumb. Why would you do that, And I always thought, that's what I really thought about it. And I never thought about mindfulness. I never thought about being still and taking, I would always take for granted that time that was given to me that I could have just quieted my mind. Instead, I chose to be stressed out. I chose to always be on the go. I chose to never take really any time for me. And what that does with people is when they're constantly in that state, and especially those who get in that fright and flight mode, you know what I mean, where you're just always just freaking out about everything around you. And we start getting unhealthy. We start feeling bad. We start having a lot of problems. We start having a lot of health issues. And maybe we can't figure out why we're having health problems and why we're just so caught up in everything. I mean, I have observed this just at the grocery store. A simple thing is going to the grocery store. I see people, we see people all the time, and I'm a people observer. I watch people when I'm at stores, and I mean, I don't sit there and stare at them weird, but I watch, that would creep people out. But I am a people watcher, and I observe behaviors, and I've done this for a long time. And it's amazing how people get so laser focused on one thing. I mean, they'll be at the store and they'll be just looking straight ahead at what they're getting. It's like they're not even thinking about what they're doing. They're just picking up what they want or what they need, and they move on, not even acknowledging anybody around them, anything around them. They're just that laser focused on just that thing, and that's it, and not even being mindful of what is around them. And that is not a way to live life, and that, unfortunately, that is society nowadays. That is the fast-paced life that we all lead, and that's why it's such a problem, because we've never really learned how to quiet ourselves. I mean, even like our cell phones and even our computers. We get back from work, like if you're working a full-time job, we get back from our businesses, our work. What's the first thing we reach for? We reach for, in the morning when we get up, we reach for our phones, we get on our computers. We're just always plugged in. I mean, all the time, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, multiple hours of the day, except when we're sleeping, right? You know that feeling. You go to bed with your phone, wake up with your phone. It's there waiting for you to just look at it. Check your emails. Check your Facebook posts. What's going on in Facebook? Oh my gosh, I missed 8 hours of Facebook. I got to see what's going on the last 8 hours since I've been asleep. I'm on Instagram. Oh my gosh, I got to check out Instagram and see what's going on. I got to check my emails and see what came in the middle of the night. And,
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's true, though. People get so caught up in these things. Or they get caught up, and it's not bad to check your email. It's not bad to be on Facebook. I'm not saying that. It's just we let it get out of hand, and we get so laser focused on just those things and staying plugged in that we're not taking time to feel ourselves, feel our bodies. What's going on? We miss it. And I had this problem, and a lot of the times, I know with me, I shared that with you about my story and how I lost myself. I lost who I was, and I wasn't mindful at all. It's because, first of all, I think sometimes we don't want to be mindful. We don't want that. Even though we want it, we don't want it. Because what has a tendency to happen is if people are afraid if they slow down too much, they're going to miss out on something. If they slow down too much, it's going to give them time to think. It's going to give them time to feel stuff. It's going to give them time with themselves. And they're scared of that. They're scared of themselves. They don't want to feel this. They don't want to feel that way. They want to keep the distractions going so they don't have to feel. And it sounds weird. And sometimes that is like the excuse and the go-to so we don't have to think, or we are afraid of what's going to happen if we allow ourselves to be mindful, if we allow ourselves to breathe deeply and just take some time and clear our head and pay attention to an important aspect, which is you. We're fearful of that. And I never really realized that until I started doing the work myself. And I couldn't figure out why I wanted to relax and I wanted that time for myself to think and not have to think. But then as soon as I had that opportunity to do that, I would pick up something and distract myself with something else because I didn't want to. I was scared. And the thing is, why are we scared? Why are we scared? We live in our body every single day, 365, every single breath we take. Why are we scared of ourselves?
It's not so much that we're scared of ourselves, it's we're scared of what will come to mind. Yeah, exactly. What chases us around.
Our shadows, perhaps. Stuff that, just stuff we really don't want to see or
List
don't
of
want to know.
things that we know we have to do but don't want to do.
Yeah.
The having to talk to people that we really don't want to talk to, or we're just not in the mood to deal with.
Yeah.
Today.
And I've done that, and I've been in that very same situation too, where I wake up and it's like, you know what, I don't want to deal with this right now. I feel kind of bad because sometimes I've made excuses where, somebody showed up one day and I was like, oh no, really, I don't want to have to deal with them because they have just all this negative energy about them, and I don't want to have to deal and hear all their story and hear the same complaints from them over and over and over and over again. And I made the excuse of, oh, well, I'm not feeling good, or, oh, I have a headache. We all know the headache excuse, right? Yeah. And, kind of getting off the subject a little bit here, but you know what I mean. We just don't want to we want to avoid that. So getting back to mindfulness and meditation, I had started doing meditation quite a while back. My very, very, very first attempt at meditation was, I wasn't the most willing person, and Toby introduced me to my very first taste of a meditation. Okay. And I didn't believe it at first. I was like, yeah, whatever. That's for the weird people. That's for people that are just strange. So
you fit in.
Yeah, I fit in.
I fit in.
With the strange. That's strange. Yeah. But it's not strange. It's strange to society because we were never taught this. Most people are not taught how to be mindful. They're not taught the meditation practices. We learned it, Toby learned it a long time ago. I never even considered it myself because why? I didn't see a purpose in me doing meditation. I was like, what for? That doesn't make sense. I'm fine. And so, yeah, that happened, I think, almost going on 6 years ago, almost 6 years ago. And that was at a time in my life when I was going through some really tough things with my dad because he was really sick with cancer, and he had passed away almost 6 years ago. And it was a really, really dark time in my life. And Toby had suggested, because I wasn't sleeping, I was having a lot of problems emotionally, mentally, physically, I was spiritual everywhere. I was having a lot of problems. I couldn't focus. I mean, I was just going, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know how to really prepare for all that stuff. And so he had showed me some meditation practices to do to help. And I'm not going to show you those today because they're actually very, very deep. And I don't go very deep, on that level that he showed me. But it was my first introduction to it. And I allowed him, I was like, okay, well, he said, we could try this. And I'm like, I don't know. I was I was a little scared. I was like, I don't know. And anyway, I ended up saying, all right, let's just try it. All right, let's try it. And I was surprised when we were done, with the session. I was surprised how I felt. I was surprised what my mind was doing and how my body felt. I couldn't believe I felt more relaxed. I felt more in control of my emotions, in control of my panic attacks that I was getting, because I was getting some pretty serious panic attacks. And my heart rate would always jump up really high, and I would sweat and get just major panic.
Well,
and
one thing I'll throw out there, and I did ram down your throat when you were learning the meditation. Breathe.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, breathe. And
that's the biggest thing when you're doing meditation. Breathe. I told her, what's the worst thing that can happen to you? You oxygenate your blood.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
No. And I felt when I did that, I am breathing. You're like, no, breathe slowly. Because, we're so used to us going, we either breathe really fast or we breathe from our chest. We don't breathe in from our stomach.
Yeah, as stress builds up in you,
yeah,
you subconsciously or even unconsciously start to breathe faster and shallower.
And shallower, yeah.
Well, that right there starts depriving your body of oxygen and things that it needs to function properly. With meditation, go back to basics. Clear your mind, shut your mouth, slowly inhale through your nose. Then, when you breathe out, you want to slowly breathe out of your mouth, not your nose. Yeah. In through nose, out through mouth.
And slowly. Don't go, because that's all that's going to get you is just more excitement. You're just going to get more stress. Yeah, hyperventilate. And you're going, oh! You'll pass over out on the floor and you'll be going, what the? But no, seriously, that is so true. And, again, we're not taught this stuff. I was never taught this. I figured we breathe. We're breathing automatically. Why do you have to think about it? But we do have to think about it. And, for those of you who've never done this before and you think, oh, well, that is so unachievable. If you've ever watched any meditation videos or if you've ever been exposed to anything, these people can hold these things for a long period of time sometimes. And you're thinking, well, that's unachievable. And the thing is, you've got to keep it, like Toby said, very easy, very basic. Breathing in slowly through the nose and in out slowly through the mouth is all you really need to start with. You don't have to start with these exotic poses, and you don't have to start with your hands like this and go, you don't need to do all that stuff unless you want to, but you don't need to do all that fancy stuff to get the same effects from meditation. It can be very simple.
It can be as simple as just laying back on your couch, closing your eyes, and breathing.
Yeah,
and work on clearing your mind.
And the clearing your mind is, I would think, the most challenging part, guys.
Yeah.
So here's a tip, and I'm just going to give you right now. When you begin to start these meditations, just the simple breathing in and out like we shared, don't beat yourself up. Don't judge yourself for it. Don't sit there and go, Well, they said to clear my mind, and I'm still thinking about this thing that happened today to me, and I can't. I'm breathing in slowly and breathing out, and I'm just getting more mad because I can't. Don't do that. At first, you probably won't be able to clear your mind that much. Okay, I'm just being honest here. The expectation that I want you to set for yourself, don't set it so high and think, I have to clear my mind 100% and think nothing. If you've never done this type of work before, that is not realistic. You will be thinking of stuff. Okay? That's just how it is. But then as you practice this and you practice the mindfulness and the quiet and the slow breathing, the more you practice it, the more you're going to be able to teach yourself how to clear your mind. Now, it might be a couple of seconds. You might get maybe 2 or 3 seconds where you have nothing going on. You're not thinking of anything. That's okay. Actually, that is really good. If you can get only 2 or 3 seconds right now, congratulations, guys. That is a step forward. That is not a bad thing. That's all I got. When I first started doing meditation, I could maybe pull off 2 or 3 seconds. And then the thoughts were right back. And the thing is, you don't want to judge your thoughts neither. You don't want to be sitting there breathing deeply and then you get those 2 or 3 seconds where you're just nothing. And all of a sudden you come across the argument that you had with your spouse or something, and you recall a word that they said just pissed you off. And then you're sitting there going, if you're feeling that way, allow the thought to pass, but don't meditate on the thought.
Don't hang on to it.
Yeah, don't hang on to the thought. Let it pass. Acknowledge that, yeah, it's there. I see you, I feel you, I hear you. But no, just let it pass. And then once you can grab the reins again and get back that control, you might be able to get another 2 or 3 seconds in. And so, like I said, as you do this in time, you'll be able to hold on to clearing your mind longer and longer and longer. And I didn't believe it at first. I'm like, how do these people do that? I was watching a video on how to do meditation once too, and they're like, if you can hold your thoughts, and clear your mind for these 5 minutes and just let your mind. And I'm thinking, 5 minutes? Are you freaking crazy? How in the living crap are you going to hold it for 5 minutes without any thoughts coming through? And I never believed that could be achieved. Okay, I just like, yeah, right. But now that I have been doing more meditation practices, I've been doing more yoga with breathing meditation at the same time, and I've gotten more advanced in some of these things, I've been able to pull off 5 minutes. I've been able to even pull off like 6, 7, 8 minutes. If I'm having a day that I had a really good day, I could pull off a longer period of time with just clearing my head and nothing there distracting me. Now, I get my days, of course. If I've had a really stressful day and I try to go to do the yoga or meditation and some just simple breathing, maybe there's a couple times there'd be a minute or so and the thought would be there. So you will still have a variation in how long you can clear your mind, but practice. Okay, that is I think the biggest tip is just practice that. And there's a lot of meditations out there. That's another thing I want to stress to you guys. When you watch this video here with me, don't just go out and go. You can, but I don't advise right yet to go out and go on YouTube and look into a bunch of meditations and just, you're watching all this stuff and you get confused and you get paralysis of analysis, and then you choose to do nothing. Because you looked on here and go, oh, I can't do that. Oh my gosh, just simple, guys. Don't even look on YouTube right now. Just start where I told you. Slow breathing, simple. Once you have that down and you know you have control and you feel that you have the mindfulness, you're doing that every day on a consistent basis, several times a day. Then at that point, you feel like you want to go farther with this, you can then do a little bit more advanced, but start small, because if you try to go fancy and intricate with, because there's a lot of things out there, you're just going to get confused and you're going to get frustrated. And in frustration does not lie mindfulness. Okay? Frustration just creates more frustration.
And anger.
Yeah, and anger and resentment and shame and
desperality.
Yeah, the list can go on. Yeah. And you beat yourself up and yeah. Don't get caught in that. So yeah, that's where I began. And for a while I could tell, I'll kind of go back on this, I can tell the difference when I did the meditations, like during that time with my dad when he was really bad. I could tell the difference in how I was feeling. I mean, I was still feeling all the emotions and I was still feeling everything about what was going on, but I was able to rein in and bring in, more control with myself when I felt like I was getting out of control with it. And so then it kind of escalated from there. It escalated. Then I started doing yoga, simple yoga. I started out with beginner's yoga, and I haven't gotten too far into that. I do, I guess, beginner's intermediate. I do in fact, in the beginning, I think I started with intermediate. There was the first one I ever did. I should have started with very basics. And don't make this mistake, guys. I know I'm telling you not, and you probably will, but that's you. Well, I mean, do what you want to do. But when I first started, and I don't know why, every time I go to talk, I've had fall allergies here, so you'll just have to excuse me for a few weeks, guys. Just fall allergies have been killing me. But yeah, the first yoga meditation that I started with was a little bit more bendy and flexible than I had wanted. I watched and I was like, oh my gosh, how does she do this? But I started with it anyway, and I did what I could. I didn't push myself. I thought, okay, and that's one thing when you're doing this type of work in meditation or anything of that nature that involves yoga or stretching or anything like that. Don't push yourself too far. Don't go so far that you hurt yourself. Okay? You pull a muscle, or you hyperventilate, or you hold your breath too long, or don't do something stupid. Just be very mindful of what you're doing. So yeah, as I was doing that, and I increased, I started doing it at least 3 nights a week, 2 to 3 nights a week. And then I slowly increased. Now I do it about 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week. I give myself a couple of nights where I don't do yoga, but I still will deep breathe, and I'll, right before bed especially. When I'm feeling really stressed, like this is another good time. If you're throughout your day, if you're at work, or you're working on a project, or you are, like Toby said, you're doing things you don't really want to do, or you're being by somebody, maybe you're with somebody that creates a lot of stress in your life, you can also, at any given time, you can do the deep breathing, the simple stuff. And you can do it, like you can go to the bathroom if you have to, get away for a minute or so, and just calm, right? And like if you're really agitated with somebody, and that is a really good time to just walk away for a minute or so, excuse yourself to the bathroom, go into the bathroom, maybe do what you need to do, and just take just a little bit of time and just breathe deeply a couple of times. And then when you come out, you're much more calmer. You're more easier to talk to, and you're not likely going to blow up as well as you would as if you just kept going with the person that's aggravating you, right? So that's meditation and mindfulness is good for so many things of your health. And it is an excellent, excellent holistic way to gain more balance in your system, in your body physically, in your, like, even your organs inside. It's really good for, like Toby said, for good oxygen. Because when I was doing the deep breathing, especially in the beginning, I would feel the tingles in my body. My arms would start tingling, my body would just start tingling. And it was a good feeling because I felt all this beautiful energy and all this beautiful, like, just oxygen just flowing through me. It was crazy, and it calmed me at the same time. So it's very beneficial for people that have high stress, anxiety. It's very beneficial for just, maybe you've been working hard, like, you've been working hard at your business. You've been focused a long period of time and you got to take a break. That is a good time to take that break and do a little bit of meditation and kind of quiet your mind. And it boosts your creativity. Okay, it really does boost your creativity. I do this especially when I'm doing some really deep content work and I'm working on my book, or I'm working on something that requires me to be very creative. And I do that, and I take a pause and I'll kind of breathe a little bit slowly in and out a few times. Or I'll get up and I'll just kind of just let it out, And if you do that and you make a habit of it, you can do it, like I said, any time of day, any time of night, anywhere you go. You can take that tool with you and have it just right there where you can reach for it and say, okay, I need to take a minute or so and just try to be mindful, clear my brain, even if it's for a few seconds, get my grip, and then go back out into the world and do what you're going to do. Okay? So, yeah, and I'm not going to cover right now, like I said, I'm not going to cover actual techniques at this moment. But these are just the benefits that we have seen, the benefits that I've seen with other people that have done this. So everything that I'm sharing with you is stuff, obviously, that I've already done myself, that Toby's done. And that's why I love doing this, because it's not just me giving you guys knowledge and saying, hey, here, try this. These are things that we have already done and tried and shared with people. And that is where the transformation starts to take place. That is where you start to get more balance in your life. Because we all need some balance. We all need something to go off of. We all need a foundation. And with everything in the world that we're out doing, we're so busy. There's just all these things happening all the time, and we get so caught up in them that we just operate on, like I said, autopilot. We operate there, and that's where we stay until we make a decision to do something different, to change our life, to create something amazing in your life that you can go to. Instead of reaching, and here's another thing, because you guys know me by now, if you listen to all my videos, I love more holistic ways of doing things. I am not the type of person that goes and pops a pill for everything I get or have. I admit there are times when I do have to take something if I'm having a really bad headache or something, but I try to stay away from that stuff. I try to stay away from all the chemicals and all the stuff where you can easily pop a pill.
I'm sorry, I'm a little cranky. I haven't slept in 2 days.
Why don't you take a pill?
He doesn't believe in pills.
How can you not believe in them? They're on TV all the time.
Let me tell you something, Jake. Big pharmaceutical companies want you to think you can take a pill for everything. Can't sleep? Take a pill. Can't wake up? Take a pill. Feeling sad? Take a pill. Can't get it up? Take a pill.
Can't get what up?
Peter cigar dinner, please.
You could easily take this and I don't want my life to be ran by that kind of thing. I want the holistic way to heal the body, to heal the mind, to heal the soul, to heal the spirit. I want the holistic ways to do that. And I love to share those with you guys because, yes, the quick fixes are out there for this. The quick fixes are the medication. The quick fixes are reaching for that energy drink, reaching for that stimulant, reaching for that alcohol, reaching for the drugs, to just for recreation. All the habits that people are created, we can easily go out there and do those things. But if we teach people how to holistically deal with their bodies, their minds, their emotions, everything in a healthy manner, yes, it takes more time. It's not going to be your quick fix, take a pill, bam, here it is. It's going to put a Band-Aid over it. This is actually getting to the core of you, the core of your body. And in the holistic healing happens in time. Over the course of time, you will start to see the benefits in time. But what most of us will do is we get impatient, right? We get impatient. We don't want to wait for the results. We want instant gratification right now. And we reach for the wrong things. So be mindful. It's becoming my favorite word. Aside from holistic and be mindful of where you're at right now and be thinking of ways to calm yourself, ways that you can create a better energy field in your body, ways to create more happiness for yourself, more healing for yourself. We all come from wounded backgrounds. We all come from various wounds in our life. Every single person does. I don't know a person out there that hasn't. If there is that person out there that haven't had a single thing wrong with them ever, well, I'd like to meet you. But I don't think there is. I can feel safe to say that there's not a person out there that hasn't had some sort of issue or challenge of just being on autopilot, just not focusing on anything but just surviving, right? Well, guys, I really hope this has brought some light into you. I hope that it's got you thinking of a few things to really look at yourself and not be afraid. Stop being afraid. What is there to be afraid of? You were born into this world for a very good reason. Take time to know yourself. Take time to know your body. And don't worry about your flaws. Don't worry about your mistakes. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry if it feels foreign or weird or strange in some way. Because if it does feel that way for you, if it feels strange and weird and foreign and just not what you're used to, that is a good indication is that's what you need to do. You need to feel those things in order to change. You need to feel that way. So, deep breathe. Do some meditation this week, guys. Be good to yourself. And I will talk to you very soon again on my next coffee break conversations with water.